What is going to be the easiest way that somebody can consume information about your company? Well, obviously it's video. It takes no work to watch something. It does take work to read. Hey, what's going on everybody? Loris here, founder of Carrier Intelligence, and today I want to talk to you about the importance of video and why you have to have essentially a video creation plan in place to attract those better drivers out in the marketplace to your company. And if we think about today's current world, we are bombarded by stimulation from all angles, whether it be TV, computer, advertisements, or the simple fact that we all carry a computer in the palm of our hands. That has led the average attention span to drop significantly. Now, if you rewind the clock, you go back to the 1950s, 60s, that attention span is estimated to be at about 13 minutes. That means if you're a sales guy, walking to the office or even hopping on a phone call doing a cold call, you would have potentially 10 to 13 minutes to captivate somebody's attention, engross them in your pitch, and hopefully keep the conversation going. Well, today that doesn't exist, right? There's no way that anybody has an attention span like that. In fact, studies have shown that the attention span has dropped to that of a goldfish, which is about 10 seconds. It's wild, but that is the case. And so what does that mean about video? Well, if you think of the same principle that when people used to have a longer attention span, they were willing to read more, read articles, etc. And we see that has dropped off over time. So you want to make it as simple as possible with as least friction as possible to get drivers engrossed into your company. Now, you could do that a number of ways. You could, of course, have long-form copy on advertisements. You could have images, or you could have video. And if you think of the path of least resistance, what is going to be the easiest way that somebody can consume information about your company? Well, obviously, it's video. It takes no work to watch something. It does take work to read. If you just think of the basic level, if you were to post, let's say, an advertisement on Indeed, Craigslist, something like that, you are only able to essentially post text, right? Throw a picture in there, sure. But somebody still has to manually go out and consume that media. You could take that same principle and apply it to social media advertisement, but the issue is they still have to manually consume. And you have to recall that with our attention span being so minuscule now, there's a good chance you're gonna have a higher bounce off rate of people simply losing interest. It's unfortunate, but it's the world we live in. Unfortunately, the market dictates what needs to occur, so it'd be advantageous for companies to go out and create content that can be consumed in the easiest way possible for your target audience. And if you're thinking about drivers, when they have moments of free time, right, between maybe getting laid over, at rest stops, fueling, getting loaded, unloaded, chances are they're not gonna go out and do a bunch of reading. They just wanna kind of hang out, look through stuff, scroll through their phones, right, and view content. So that is why video is important. And if you were to look at trends emerging within the marketplace, if you look at Facebook, right? Whether you like Facebook or not, it doesn't really matter. They are here and probably here to stay for a while. They are 10xing all their efforts into video, right? And that is because they see the writing on the wall of, hey, this is what users are gravitating towards. They are moving away from traditional social media platforms, going towards more of the TikTok where all you can do is view videos. And if Facebook is going to this, and if you see YouTube putting a heavier emphasis on YouTube Shorts and Instagram moving more into the Reels and all this happening, you start seeing the writing on the wall, which is video. Now, the thing about that is, sure, anybody can throw a quick video up and that's a piece of content, but there has to be a healthy balance between quality versus quantity, right? Now, I am a fan of, anything beats nothing, but at the same time, you wanna make sure to be putting your company in the best light possible, because you have to realize when somebody consumes your video content, they consciously or subconsciously are analyzing it, thinking, hey, is this a potential place for me to work? Now, if you were to throw a video together that didn't paint your company in a decent picture, there's a good chance that video is gonna do more harm than good. You know what I mean? So very, very basic stuff, but it is something to be cognizant about. So whenever you are trying to figure out how to go out and create content, video specifically for your company, there's some basic best practices that you can get into place, and it doesn't take a lot of equipment or studio or anything like that. If you look at myself right now, quite honestly, I am filming with a decent light setup, an iPhone camera, and a little lapel microphone. Very, very simple. A lot of the quality can happen in the editing phase, right? So you don't have to go out and invest in thousands and thousands of dollars in equipment to record some videos to attract drivers. It can be done most likely with essentially the tools you already have. It's important to remember it doesn't matter how good the tool is, it matters how well you can use the tool. And so if you can become a master of what you already have, there's a good chance, an opportunity for you to be able to produce video content that not only rivals, but most likely trumps your competitors. And when you can do that with predictability, you're gonna have a content machine that's going to start attracting those drivers, right? And by producing so much video content that is easily digestible, you're gonna have a higher view rate, which translates to a higher conversion rate to your landing page, for example, to your ATS system where drivers go in and fill out an application. And at that point, I like to think about the analogy of flipping a coin, right? If you flip a coin once, good chance it lands on tails. You flip it 2 or 3 times, hey, it may land on tails every time. But when you keep flipping, the laws of probability start to occur, and it will start to land on heads more and more. So you want to think about it in that context, that every piece of content you create isn't going to turn into an initial 5-10 applications or 5-10 hires. But when you keep creating the content, you're going to get more viewers. The more viewers that watch, the more that click on your call to action, the more that click on that call to action, fill out a full application, the more full applications that are filled out, the more contacts your recruiters can have, having meaningful discussions, more people get into processing, more people show up to orientation, more people hit the road driving. So it's really distilling all of this information down. In the end comes drivers, right, that are actually working for your company. And that is why video is so powerful, because you have to think about it as a leverage point. You have the ability to create short videos and use those videos focusing on your company's unique selling proposition, what it is that makes your company unique, defining your company culture, getting a chance for drivers to meet your staff, see the facilities, engage with other drivers through watching driver testimonial videos. You can do all of this at scale, show those videos to the masses, and automate a lot of that outreach to you, and have a machine that is bringing drivers in, which is great, compared to doing an outbound method, which is just cold calling or going through a driver list of old leads you have and just pounding those. We always would prefer to have drivers coming to us rather than us going to the drivers. It kind of restores that balance of power. If somebody reaches out to you first, inquiring, there's a lot better probability of that person actually converting to the next step versus you reaching out yourself initially. So by creating a video blueprint for your company, going out, using the equipment you already have, and starting to create content on a consistent basis, you will start to see those results and have a predictable trickle of drivers coming in that are more qualified because they have already viewed your content, they know a little bit about your company, and they are interested, okay? So hopefully that was helpful. Catch you in the next video.